penetrate and expose.
Make it rain, burning purple. Cast a spell on you in a circle. Hot fire, gasoline. Make it rainbow dream. Hot fire, gasoline. Make it rainbow dream. Smash the shit in soma. Iris when she float up, flying through the night. Make you feel alright. Cast spells at volcanoes. Use lava, liquid Drano. 2 puffs of purple hazes. That's what the witch is blazing. Liquid smoke. Kickstart the broomstick. Up in the sky with balloons. My doobies ain't toothpicks. Tommy Chongin, Pupess, you own it. You only need a little bit of dragon venom drips. Dr. Fever, deck of scripts. Darkness through dreams. Pennywise, lovely ladies know I'm it. That stuff they own, it gets right on top of them. Hope you're not busy for a few days. Adrenochrome and processed foods. Olay, Athena, bring the bang. Make it rain, burning purple. Cast a spell on you in a circle. Hot fire, gasoline. Make it rainbow dream.
Welcome back to Lady Babylon. This is Better Than Muse, and I want to thank you for coming out this Friday. Thank you for coming out. Thank you, Chewy, for prepping us and for having such great images. They're there for you, Satanic Congregation, and your brain cleansing. What? Just keep reading. I have a demonic desire to hear you say, "Oh, God." Chewy, give me the next one. Fantastic. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for coming. Great shout outs to everybody in the congregation, people who are coming here, who are not coming here to pay for mugs and t-shirts. Yes, we're not coming here to pay for anything. It's so nice to be here when you're not giving me any money. And I'm not taking any from you, because this is sacred ground. This is the bed of the Muse. And tonight, I am going to take you to a place. And then we're going to split in half. And I'm going to take half of us one place and the other half another. Oh my God. You're going to see the continuation of what you've been seeing. Tonight, I'm bringing you the dark Bible. This is the Bible that was there historically before. This section was kicked out of it. It's too much, said the men with the vows not to touch them. We're going to see a mystery. What do I always bring you? I'm bringing you tonight the Eucharist, baby. You want to see the Eucharist? Do you really? Do you want to see an early Christian Eucharist? Do you want to see one put on by the students of the dude himself? Do you want to see it? We've got it. It's in the text. It is beautiful. Indeed, it is. Hail Satan, right? Hail Satan. Love it. Fantastic. But before we begin our journey tonight, we have to start with a question. Is Almond demon possessed? Is Almond demon possessed? Chewy, the poll's pretty positive, isn't it? Wow. Okay. Let's bring up a witness. I just want to bring up a witness. Somebody who can say it like it is. It's with my great pleasure that I don't know what this person's name is, but I could not pass this up, people, because it's a Friday night and you need a freebie. Do you see how it is to tear spirit from flesh? Do you see it? Do you want to see? Here, everybody, put on your gloves. Tonight, we're going to have to palpate. Where is he? Bring him in. Come here.
It was oppressive to listen to. spiritually oppressive, demonically so. Demonically so. I'm being perfectly serious. And I believe it's spiritually oppressive because I believe Ammon Hillman is demonized. I see no other explanation. 1.4 million. That shows a lust for unbelief. A lust for unbelief. These are people who want a reason to not bow the knee to Jesus Christ. And he will give you the reason. If you believe him, you will never, ever even consider the claims of Christ. That's why it's demonic. And one of the gifts that God has given to this ministry is the ability to refute this kind of not just heresy, not just lies, not just falsehood. This is diabolical insanity. I'm worried about the 1.4 million people that have heard this stuff, and then they can't figure out what he's saying, so they're just going to repeat bits and pieces of it. And you are going to end up being the person. I'm pointing at you. You're going to be the person that ends up sitting across the table from somebody at a youth gathering, a school, whatever else might be, and you're going to start getting hit with stuff you've never even heard of before. Where's it coming from? Right there.
Oh, God. You're going to be at your meeting with little Timmy in your school. What's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? George, who's the daddy of little Lisa, he's going to walk up and say, did you know Jesus Christ was arrested in a public park with a naked kid at 4 a.m.? And it's going to, what, do you want to live in a world like that? Do you want to live in a world like that? Do you see what happens? This is not the first time that Ammon has ever been accused of being demon possessed. It is not. It is not. It is an old accusation. It is an old accusation, as old as the great Medea. Yes, it's fantastic. Show. Oh, God, do they want meat, man? Okay, bring him up. We're going to talk about Thomas tonight. So bring him up, Tom. Thank you for joining us. Now, remember, thanks to Jesus Christ, Tom can now walk around without his skin. Has everybody been sealed tonight? Do you see him? Here he comes. Here he comes. Okay, take him down. It's like a circus. Cheer, you want this, don't you? You want it. Yes, the people want it. Tell me how much meat, man. They love it. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going before the prudish people decide to step out, right? Oh, God, no. Let's just push forward and kick them all out. I love it. Love it. Oh, hail Satan. Yeah, Medea, right? Where were we? We were with Medea. We were looking at that, right? Right. This is how it all starts. This is how it all starts. Where is the demon possession? Where is the demon possession? That's what the inquiry asked. When a crowd of parents stood with the bishop in an inquiry as to whether this guy is demon possessed or not. Yes. Do you understand? Now, this is coming to you from somebody who's got Greek on his shirt. You must believe him. You must believe him. This is the standard. This is the standard fare that they will throw at you, right? This guy is an authority. First of all, your gammas are upsilons. You've got it backwards. What are you doing? By the way, and that sigma, that's not classical, bro. No, that's Byzantine. So really, it's nonsense. If you're walking around with a t-shirt full of nonsense, here's your problem. Here's your problem. You don't really do that Greek, and all of us know you don't. So you can't master it. You can't bring that forward to people. You can't free people with that ether, right? That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do. So, and look, he said this in his presentation. Whoever he is, he said very authoritatively, right? Very authoritatively. Yeah. He knows and is in the Greek. So he's able to talk to you about it in a way that you're not going to understand because you're a dummy. Yeah. This is authority coming to you. It's authority. And here's the problem. The authority is perjury. It's a giant lie. Let me show you. Are you ready? You know what this moron said? This guy said, koine. He said, granted, granted, Hillman knows his classical Greek, but the Bible is written in koine, right? Like it's a different language. Welcome, you moron. Welcome. Koine is not a different language. You who don't actually read Greek but pretend like you do. Right? I heard you quote it. I heard your seminarian's accent. Sounds like you got something stuck in your throat. You know what I mean? Yes. Right. It's a what is some people say Koine is a dialect, and even I shy away from that. Because unlike Ionian or Attic or Aeolian or Dorian or Boeotian, right? Euboean, unlike those dialectical differences, that are clearly dialects, Koine is a process. It is just the commonization. It is the creating a base for which we can all be comfortable with. And what do we have to do when we do that? We have to get rid of the extremes. When your language starts to become common, it loses its elegance. That's why in the 1st and 2nd centuries AD, there are authors like Galen who are stepping up and saying, look, right? It's the language is being dumbed down. We have a higher capacity. So what are we going to do? We're going to bring in those elements from Attic Greece, 5th century, because that's when, if you're a connoisseur of ancient Greek, you may like a little Ionian science every once in a while to charge your brain, but you may also have a finer taste, a little finer palate, and you may like that 5th century tragedy. Yeah. Oh, with those Dorian choruses, right? Fantastic. So do you see what I'm talking about? The experts out there have no idea. And they are leading you down an alleyway. And there's usually somebody's finger at the end of that alleyway. Am I demon possessed? Yes, I'm going to show you a demon possession tonight. I'm going to show you demon possession. Now, put on your, tonight we've got to wear suits. We've got to make this professional, right? I want to make sure because the material that I'm about to present to you is of a delicate nature. It's what got kicked out of the Bible in the first place, right? Why? Because it was too nasty. It was too nasty what Jesus and his apostles were doing. It was too nasty. We're going to Gangsta G tonight. We're going to see him. Project yourself back to vampirism in all of its height. Oh, you mean that Transylvania? No, I'm not talking about Vlad. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about the origins with the strangler. The origins with the strangler and she who drinks your blood. Oh, God, are you ready for this? I told you I would take you to the best spot, right? If you go out with me, I will take you to the best spot and we will see it. These are history's best spots. And tonight we're going to a rite. All right. First, we got to start with horror, pure, unadulterated horror. Are you ready for a story that is going to disturb you? Yes. Yes, it's the time of year for those. This is where that story can be found. The title of that story is a section of the Holy Bible, the Acts of Thomas, that talks about the boy who murders the girl. This is the story of the boy who murders the girl. Are you ready? Let's give it to him, Chewy. Let's give it to him. Don't close your eyes. Blow it up. I need it big. So there was this young kid, this Neoniskos, right? And he did something that was just unpardonable. It's just beyond the pale, beyond any sort of divine law, right? So what did he do? He came in and he took the Eucharist. He took it himself in his mouth. And what happened when he did it? Both of his arms were paralyzed. Yeah, both of his arms were paralyzed immediately. Paralyzed so much he couldn't even reach his mouth. He couldn't reach his mouth. And what happened? Those that saw him, they're like, oh, I can't say what they said, but, oh, holy smokes, Batman. This dude's paralyzed. What did you get into the Eucharist for, you bonehead? Even the amateurs know that you don't mess with that stuff unless you want to see the future or die. What's happening? Oh, God, that silly kid, right? Why did he do this? Well, let's keep reading. What does it say? So they alerted Thomas, right? They alerted Thomas. And what did Thomas do about it? Give me the next one. What did Thomas do about it? He says, you're not going to believe this, right? Right? Oh, God. He says, okay, take the kid, and it calls him a technon, right? So take the kid and tell him, don't be ashamed, right? Come here and tell us, what did you do when you came there? Because the Eucharist of the Lord convicts you. It shames you. Do you know what that means? Do you realize the word gospel in ancient Greek is the word for the power of a drug? It's gospel. The effectiveness, what the drug does to you is its gospel. And what is happening here? The kid got to the Eucharist, and as we all know, we all know those are heavy drug-containing substances that will knock you flat, man. They use these to induce death, right? The dudes who are on them, you can walk up and kick them. You got no response, nothing, right? You see people and they're doing things to them. They're manipulating them while they're in this state. They gave them something that they're satyrs. They're sitting there with that constant erection from the drug called satyrion. Oh, God. What's going on? Let's see what, at least we have this kid. All right, let's see what he does. So tell us, kid, what's the story? Because the Eucharist is obviously, it's working in you, right? And look what it did. Now, Thomas goes on to tell him, he says, look, this blessed gift, this thing that's coming to us from God, when we give it to people who are faithful and within the love, do you know what happens to them? They're healed, brother. Well, what happened to you? You've been shown to be a thing of shame. Okay. And by the way, this is the same group of people that kills people for not giving them money, right? Peter, James, and John, right? Ananias and Sapphira held back some funds. What happens? And they're gangsta world, they get smoted, right? They get smitten, right? Except it's not the good type of smitten, right? It's the type where you end up dead. Now, did you know the apostles killed people? Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't know that? You didn't know that the followers of Jesus Christ were murderers? The dude who was arrested in a public park with a naked kid at 4 a.m. screaming, "I'm not a trafficker." That guy, yeah, his apostles are cold-blooded killers, brother. Yeah, cold-blooded killers. You've been worshiping gangsters. Gangsters. Oh, God, it suddenly all makes sense, doesn't it? It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Let's see what happens with Thomas. Bring back that text. Let's see where we're going. Oh, God. Yeah. And the young guy, he was so shamed by the Eucharist of the Lord that he came in front of Thomas and he fell down at his feet and he's in great need of him. And he says, "Oh, God, what a terrible thing I've done. Please realize I wasn't intentionally trying to do harm, right? But what happened? Well, there was this woman." Okay, I'm saying all the time to people that the Eucharist in the Christian rite from the beginning is an act of drug use coupled with sex. Okay? Drug use and sex equal Eucharist. All right? Here we go. Does you want to be born again? I want to be born again. Right? Praise Jesus. No? Where's the chorus? Let's go and find them. Anyway, here they are. Pull that back up. And the kid is so convicted. He falls down his feet, says, "I've done a terrible thing. I didn't mean to. But there was this woman that I fell for." And do you know what happened? Yeah. She was living outside the city in this little place. And look, she loved me too, right? She loved me too. Oh, God. Let me hear what. This is terrible. What's going to happen? Did you bring any of these people? Chewy? Right. Let's bring them in. Wait a minute. This is a neoniskos, right? This is a neoniskos, the diminutive of the person who is not yet considered adult. Right? And how do we know that? Septuagint says it, dude. Says there's two types. There's those adult and there are those neonias, those younger than adult. Right? Fantastic. Love it. So youth is what we're talking about. Youth. Now, don't get all Shakespeare and Romeo and Juliet on me, because this tragedy doesn't have a happy ending. Give it to me. Do you notice how he switched that? Why is it happy? Because they both went to hell. Now, let's get to it. Right? No, that's seriously. Oh, I'm sorry. We all end up there. Right? Joke's on everyone. Right? We all end up there. It's the process. Right? And that was glorious, dude. Well, those two, they walk around like kings and queens down there. Okay, let's get to it. Here's the Eucharist, and oh yeah, and she was in love. We're with the reason that we're here is the kid. He's describing before what happened, right? He had a thing. He had a thing for someone, right? That doesn't sound so terrible, does it? Well, let's see what happens. He came and he trusted in in Thomas. He heard the word about this Lord, this living Lord, the Lord that Thomas preached. And he came, he said, to one of these services, and he received the seal, right, along with those other people. And you said, right, what did Thomas said? This is the kid telling him. You said what? Whoever is going to enter into intercourse in a polluted state of mixing. Most especially, the best example of it is straight up fornication, right? This person isn't going to have eternal life, right? They're not going to be with the God that I am announcing to you now. Okay? It's a prohibition. Look at what's happening. It's a prohibition. So how do we not make that mistake? Kid's just being a kid, he's just trying to understand. This is coming from the same group that has holy eunuchs. Okay? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. But he says, oh yeah, okay, so what happens? So we received the seal and we entered into that communion. You said don't enter that communion, right? Okay. You said don't do it. Don't do it, Thomas says. Don't do it. Well, is there a right way to be cured of my sex demons? Instead of just going and entering into a love union? Is there some way? Oh, and it turns out there is. Watch this. It turns out there is. We're going to have to cast these demons out of you. And once we cast the demons out of you, you'll be okay. I'm not kidding you. Are you ready? This is a sexual operation involving drugs. The Christing is a reference to the Christing of drugs. They're putting those drugs into the eyes. Fantastic. Give it to me. I don't know why people don't really say hallelujah here, right? It's more like, oh my God, is it going to get bad? Yeah, it's going to get bad. So let me just read this to you. Whoever does this, whoever enters into this polluted union, this type of person doesn't get that life with God, right? You just don't. It doesn't happen, right? So, what did he say? I wanted to get married, right? And I wanted to very much take her into this state. So I told her about all this, and I proposed, you become my soon oikos in this specific holy union that is the politeia of Christianity, right? He says that this is a very unique way to use this word politeia, because what is politeia? That's what you do as you're working for the city, right? That is the activity of the citizen. So what is the Christian supposed to do about sex? There are citizens that you can have holy intercourse with. Your spouse is not one of them. If you come to us, we will cast out your demon, your sex demon that bothers you so much. You know who I am. I'm talking to you. You know who you are. You know who I'm talking to. Those sex demons. Right, Chewy? Oh, get down, sex demons. Get back. Let's whip some sex demons, shall we? Come here, you sex demon. Oh, no, you love that. Oh. Okay, here he comes. Are you ready? Give me the text. Give me the next one. Fantastic. Okay, what is this saying? Let me just say really quick to you. We're going to enter in, sweetie. He says we're going to enter into this Christian politeia. It's going to be holy and spotless. But you know what? It's that thing, by the way, which Thomas himself taught us. And what happened? She didn't want to. She didn't want to join. She didn't want to be one of those people. She wanted to get married, but she didn't want to be one of those people. Do you see what this is? Okay, so what happens? So he says, since she didn't want to, I picked up a sword and I killed her, because I was not about to see her defiled in some kind of sex act outside of Christianity. Oh God, what grade is this? Oh my God, what is going on? What is going on? What kind of drugs are these people using? Do you see why this part of the Bible was thrown out? Do you see it's a real danger, because not only does it not emphasize anything that today is accepted Christianity, but the base of this is a lot of kind of heavy, laistic society. He's about to say in a minute that we're going to come across a girl who's been killed, right? Right? We're talking about the girl who's been killed. We're going to come across her, right? Chewie knows it. And what does the text say? It says Thomas noticed that she was really hot and said, this is a real shame. And it doesn't compute unless you've hung with Gangsta G and you know who Gangsta G is. Makes perfect sense. All right, bring us the text again. I think we're done. I think we're done with that one. So yeah, he killed her, right? So she wouldn't have to. Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to take you to story number 2. Wait a minute. Are you kidding me? You're just going to take us? No. We're going to see her again. We're going to see the whole troop. But in order for us to really penetrate, I had to give you that concrete reality. And now I'm going to go backwards and I'm going to give you the underpinning. I'm going to tell you what's going on in the minds of the people writing it. Are you ready? This is from the previous section. And what I'm doing is what the devil always recommends. It's an excellent means of exposition and explication. Right? It's very scientific. We go one layer at a time, right? Instead of just cutting a trench and you got all these boop, boop, boop. No, stop what you're doing, right? Don't you know what medicine is, right? History and medicine. People are shocked. Oh, people are shocked. It's such good stuff, man. This stuff really picks you up. What's our story about? Bring back the title. Are you ready for your second story number 2 from your October version of Lady Babylon? Are you ready? What is this? It's a work about a demon infesting the mind of a woman. Oh, God. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Is this guy demon possessed? Is this guy demon possessed? Are you ready? This is biblical. Biblical people, right? They threw out the good parts. Are you ready? I hope Steve is watching. Steve, call him big gangsta Steve King. Oh God, here's horror. Are you ready? No, seriously. I didn't make it up. It's already written. I'm just translating. Give me the next one. Here it is. Here's the beginning of our story. So the apostle Thomas, he's coming along to the city with a big crowd following him. Yep. And he goes to the parents of that young kid. Remember we talked about him last. How many young people, how many youths are going to be walking around? Right? And by the way, perverts, they're always talking about whether they're hot or not, right? Total perverts, pervert Christians, right? If you're a Christian today and you don't understand the Eucharist is a giant perversion, what are you doing? If you were there on Sunday and you got the real Eucharist, you would strip off your clothes, exposing yourself as being in a state of sheer Bacchic arousal. Then you would chase people. You do what they call the nymph chasing. Dare I go any further? Christians? Oh, God. In the good old days of Christianity, this is why Baptists got beheaded by dancing girls. Oh, God. This is why Baptists got beheaded by dancing girls. You didn't actually say that, did you? Yeah, I did. You know what I'd give half my kingdom for? Get his head. Get his head, sweetheart, says mommy. Right? And she did. She could have had anything. Went for the head. Love it. brought down his head. Where did they put that thing? What would you do with that, by the way? You know, it's your prize. You danced. You did your job, man. Great job. You know, how many standing ovations did Salome get? Right? Oh, God. You know how long it takes to figure out that skill? Did you see what she did? Oh, my God. People, let's go back to the hallucinogens. Right? Here we go. So the apostle's coming along in the city, and he goes to the parents of the kid. The kid who had been killed by the dragon and now had been put into, had been put into a death state by the dragon. He brought him back. Now, we just read that section, and you know what? The dude or dudette who's writing this is a friggin' liar, because before in the text, it very clearly said that the devil put the kid into the death state and brought him out of it. Okay? All right? No credit. No credit for the devil. Who are the liars? Who are the liars here? Oh, don't eat that. It's going to make you die. No, it's not. Your eyes are going to be opened. Do you understand? This is the right. The mystery was there in Hellenistic Egypt, in Alexandria, when the dude who wrote the Old Testament in the 3rd century BC, when he was writing it, the mystery was already fully active. Right? Oh, God. Do you see? We get a knockoff, man. Your history is a complete knockoff. What you think? I'm not talking UFOs. Don't be stupid. Talk about UFOs and those damn, what do they call them? Oh, God. What are those? Quick, Chewy, give me the, what is that? I want to Nephilim this guy in his Enki-Do. Come here. Yeah, you will believe anything. You will believe anything. Right? Not us. Not members of Satanic congregation. Right? We don't want that. We just want the text. You form your own conclusions. We're going to look at the text. You form your own conclusions. And I'm about to show you something that's horrific. Let's watch what happens. Okay? Are you ready? It's a horror story. Right? So let's be professional about it. Hit me, because it's going to impact people. So he went to the parents' house of this kid that he had brought out of this death state. And what happens? They wanted him to come into their home, right, and hang around, right? Look what just happened. He brought him back. Fantastic. And there's this woman there, right? And what is she? She's Panu Horaya. Oh, God. She is a ripe woman. Do you know what I mean? Right? That's literally what that says. She's ripe. Juicy ripe. Juicy ripe lady. Come here, juicy ripe lady. That's how they're talking about it. Why do you talk about people like that, right? They're talking about the boys the same way. And why do you talk about people like that? Because you're a dealer in souls. The apostles are pimped by Jesus, and they go out to pimp others. This is Thomas pimping in India. Okay? Do you see what's spreading? Do you see what's spreading? You mean Christianity was part of a sex rite that was pimping the world? Yep. Converting the world by pimping. All of your crosses. I just have an announcement to you people. All of your crosses, spit on them. Do you know why Satanists spit on crosses when they see them? Because it's a sign of the sale of the muse. You prostitutes tried to whore the muse. And what do you end up getting? What do you end up getting? Your destruction. Yeah. Your destruction. Welcome. Welcome to your hell. Welcome. Your God was arrested in a public park with a naked kid. a naked kid. There's no value in human life with these people. Why do you think Abraham was going to chop his kid up? You know, we have a hard time presenting it. People in congregation, please give Chewy a big round of applause, because do you know how many notices we got for creating images of Abraham sacrificing Isaac? Remember that, Chewy? Yeah, right. We got warned. We're like, the Bible has gotten us in so much trouble. In so much trouble. Oh, God, it's so graphic. It's so graphic. Give me the next one. Give me the next. What is that? Is Chewy demon possessed? That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know. Chewy, what do you should we take a poll next time? Right. In all seriousness, you have to love. You have to love what is coming through the words and what's going on with these people. Now, let's watch something really mysterious and frightening. Hit me with the text, the next text, Chewy. Go. Oh, there we are. Yep, there we are. And so what happens? This woman speaks up, and she happens to be just ripening hot. And she speaks out in this great voice. And this is what she says. Give me the next one. This is what she says. Oh, apostle of this new God who's coming to us here in India, you servant of the Holy One, the one who is the one good. That's the one good God. And it's through you, apostle, that this Savior is announced to the world. And who is this Savior? He's the Savior of all those souls that come to him. And on account of you, the bodies of these people are healed. The bodies of the people who are beaten by the devil. Do you know who I'm talking about? Do you know who I'm talking about? She's about to tell you, oh, I come forward. I come forward, Thomas, because I got this demon. I got this sex demon. Now, I'm going to ask those of you out there, because I know this terminology is foreign to you. But let me just put it this way. There are those of you out there who've got sex demons. Those sex demons make you do and say funny things. You usually project them onto everybody around you, right? That's usually what happens, right? It's usually a projection of that demon. Now, the apostles, thanks to the ministry of Jesus Christ, the master demon exorcist, because what do all the demons do? They run from Jesus. You know why? Jesus takes that girl or boy, and Jesus casts out that sex demon. Now, you want to enter into the union of the bride of Christ? You don't have to be female. You can be male, right? And we've got an offer on the side. Tonight's commercial is brought to you by razor blades, the ones that cut off the eunuch's testicles. You can go that route too, right? Now that you have been cleansed. You know how many times it took Jesus to cleanse Mary of her demons, right? Her sex demons. It took him 7 times. That's a lot of cleansing, man, because I'm telling you, they've got to give you the drugs. None of this works without the drugs, by the way. Right? None of it works without the drugs. And I know you don't believe me. I'm going to show you a passage tonight that is so blasphemous, it could potentially blow the world apart. What is it? What is it? Tell us, Simon. What could be so blasphemous? It's a Eucharist of sex. And it is the Eucharist handed down from Jesus Christ directly to doubting Thomas. Yeah. Oh, God, is he doubting here? I haven't seen anything about the doubting. I think that was BS. Right? This is the one everybody calls pharmake, right? Drug user, right? And Mage, the one who masters the magic, just like those dudes that brought Jesus drugs when he was born. No, they didn't bring him to him. They brought him to his mommy, who was the virgin that God had intercourse with, right? Everybody knows her fingers are purple. Did you see or hear those voices? I saw her hear the voices. Yeah. Yeah. Guilty 93%. That's pretty good, man. You get a 93% conviction of a jury in Athens, good to go. You're good to go, right? It's so noisy. Those stupid trials are so noisy, right? You're telling your neighbors, shut up, I can't hear them. Did you bring popcorn? Right? No, they didn't have popcorn. But they had noisy juries, right? Why can they do this? Because the language, people. We're about to find out that it's language that determines exactly where you are mentally, psychologically, historically. Everything is language, right? Oh, God. You mean you can't have geometry without Mother Greek? No. Fantastic. Otherwise, you got Egyptians who look like this, right? Come on, people. Give it to me. What happens here? So look, she says, this woman steps forward. She says, look, great apostle, we're bringing this new God to us here, right, in India, right? I know he's the savior who saves all those who come to him, and he heals the bodies of those who are really just beaten up by that sex demon, right? Oh, God. Here's what I want you to do, she says. Tell people to take me to your place, wherever you are. And when I'm there, I can tell you everything that's happened. You can bring me some friggin' hope. You can bring me some friggin' hope. Give me the next one. By the way, did I tell everybody that the text is saying, and she was hot, right? Really hot. That's what the text is saying, right? You didn't realize that? What? Oh, God. Who do we get to play this person, right? Well, what happens to her? Does she get killed like that other one? Oh, God, just watch. Okay, ready? Are you ready? What does she say? She says, look, I am really burdened, right? Violently burdened by my sex demon, right? You know what I mean? One of those things. I told you where we got to go. We got to go to the nymph chaser. You want to heal? You want your healing? You want your salvation? You got to go to he who is the highest. He who is Hupsistos, which is exactly what they call him here. Because in those high places, you know what they do? They become satyrs and they chase around the nymphs. They chase around the nymphs, and they all have eunuchs with them. Did you bring your eunuchs? I brought my eunuchs this weekend. Come on, sheep. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Yeah. Give me the next one. We gotta rub our faces in it. Are you ready? She says, look, I got really hot sex demon going on inside of me. You know what I mean? She says, look, how'd that happen? She says, I'm telling you how that happened. Look, I was just a lady, being a lady, right? I was just sitting there, total peace, right? I had nothing, man. I had no interest whatsoever in anyone. I didn't want anything going on. That's what I had going on in my mind, man. I got nothing for anybody else. And what happened? It just so happened this one day, I was at the baths. Right? I had just, you got to blow it up, Chewy. Yep. I was just at the baths, right? And what happened? This dude, ready? Here comes the creepiness. This dude, some guy, she says, some guy came up, right? Stands right in front of me. And what is he like? He's all disheveled. He looks confused. He looks confused, a little bit crazy. In his voice, he speaks out. His voice was this little tiny whispering voice. And it's hard to hear. He's awkward. The dude is awkward. blow it up. Let me finish. The dude is awkward, and what does he say? What does she say? She says he walks up, he stands right in front of me. And listen to this. This is a direct quote. I'm going to translate this as literally as I can from the Black Bible, the Acts of Thomas. He says, "Me and you, we're going to be one love. And I'm going to make love to you like a man does his wife." Seriously? Okay. All right. Okay. She's taking a bath, right? Typical hygiene, responsible citizen. And you and I, we are the cops of the transdimensional cosmos, and we got to stop people like this, right? This poor woman was sitting there taking a bath. This dude comes out and accosts her. That's an assault, brother. You can't walk up to somebody and tell them what you're going to do to him physically. Oh my God, like a man and his wife. That's how I'm going to do it. What kind of creep? Where are the cops? Roman authorities, right? Now I'm going to say it one more time. I've been saying this a lot. Why do you think the Christians are kicked out of every place they go? Why do you think they're kicked out? Yeah. The kid only killed the girl because he didn't want her to go into that union that that Thomas said would kill her. She won't have ionic life. It's not possible. Do you understand? People talk about me as being dangerous. Do you know what danger is? Danger is this. This Christian philosophy is dangerous, right? It's dangerous. And this is at the base of your phony faith, which is a detritus that was built up of centuries of not being like this. Those people created a faith in which you hang around and feel good and massage yourself. It's very me satisfying. It's me time for you. Yes. But the problem is the stuff wears off. You needed the medicine that would be able to show you the mirror so you could see yourself, right? Instead, you just watched a farce happen around you, right? That's the way it is. You lost your head. You lost your head. Give me the next one. I want to see this cult, and I want to see what the heck they're doing. So she says the guy comes up and he says this creepy stuff to her. And then what happens? She turns to her servant and she says, Did you see what that guy said, right? What the heck, man? Right? Give me the next one. Boom. There it is. Okay. So she tells him, she says, look, she answers to him in the, look, dude, I'm going to set you straight, right? I'm going to set you straight. What does she tell the guy who comes out and says, we're going to get it on, right, creepo? What does she say to this creeper? She says, look, I was engaged at one time and I decided not to pursue that. What makes you think, which is a great line in the Greek, Pausamaltein ekdosa, what makes you think, how do you think I'm going to give you, right, myself? What am I going to do, hand myself over to you? I didn't even want the guy who wanted to marry me, right? Look at me. I got no interest, right? And when she said that, it says she left, and then she turned to her slave, and she said to her, did you see, right? Oh my God, the kid, what the hell's going on? Did you see? It was shameful. He was so upfront. He was so upfront with his mouth, right? She didn't say it, but she's like, oh, I want to slap him in the face, right? Punk, you creepy punk, right? So when she says that, her servant says, I didn't see a young guy. I saw an old guy. And he was sitting with there flirting with you, doing homie let-o stuff with you. That's flirtation, right? It's advancement. He was an old man in your bath watching you perverts, total perverts. And that's why we come to this dimension, to arrest these people. Somebody find that guy. That girl's never going to be comfortable again. You want to see what happened to her? Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. Bring me the source again. Bring me the source. And what happens? So she goes home. It says she goes home. Yep, there we are. And she has some hypopsian. She has a little bit of suspicion, right? It's a little bit of suspicion is clouding her psyche, her soul. And most especially because she saw the dude one way and her servant saw him another. This thing really bothered her, but she fell asleep. Keep going. And yep, keep going. We're going to translate directly. And what happened on that night? Okay, Mr. King, pay attention. On that night, he came to her and entered into union with her in a nasty, dirty way. A nasty way. And what happened? She saw him the next day. He was standing there. And what she do? She ran away. She ran away immediately because he came to her in her dream. He knew it. She knew it. Nobody else would believe her. Okay. What happened? What happened? Isn't this wonderful? It's gorgeous. Gorgeous acts of Thomas, baby. Give it to me. Give it. Oh, did we? Yep. No, that's it. And he entered into this kind of dirty. It says rupara, right? Oh, it's dirty mixing. It's a dirty mixing that they got going on. It's obviously she didn't like it, right? Right. So she ran away from him the next day. And on the successive nights, it says he would come to her again. And it says he would parejato her. And the only nice way to translate that is abuse. He would abuse her in her sleep. He would abuse her. Do you understand? What's she doing? She's coming to the apostle for help. Why? Because the apostles have all the power over the sex demons. Yay! Let's see. What's he say? What happens? And now, you see, she says, it's been 5 years. And what do you see right in front of you? You know, she's like, this is the way it is. I'm telling you, for 5 years, he's been doing this. He never leaves me alone. And he's constantly bothering. Right. And I know that you know the science of demons and spirits and alastores. And what is an alastor? Look at this word, people, in Greek. Alastor. It's an avenging spirit or deity, with or without a daimon, frequently in tragedy, right? What is this avenging spirit? This is what the witches access to get to you. Do you understand? This is what the witches access. They know what you did. There's no way for you to cover it up, right? It's going to come out, right? P. Diddy-licious. Right? Oh, God. Does anybody have baby oil? Right? Here we go. Why? It seems like it's so tawdry. When you bring it into the modern, when you bring Jesus Christ into the modern dress, it seems so tawdry. Everything he's doing, doesn't it, Chewy? It's tawdry. That's a good word. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next one. And so what happens? Oh, so the apostle says, wait a minute. We didn't finish the last one. I'm sorry. Go back up one. Go back up. And so, there we go. There we go. Right. So, he's been doing this for 5 years now. She says, I know that you're able to cast out demons and spirits and those avenging powers. Right. And what happens? Those people tremble. Those demons, they tremble when you pray, brother. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pray for me. I want you to pray for me, and I want those demons to get scattered out, and I want to become free. I want to become free of my sex demons. And why do I want to do that? Because I want to be taken to the place of the archegonic nature. Wait, what? And the Greek just took the exit on the superhighway and left you behind with your English and whatever modern language you're speaking, right? It's not just English, it's inferior bog-treading barbarism. Bar, right? Where did she want to go? She wanted to go, listen to this, to her archegonic nature. Oh, what does that even mean? Archegonic? Right? It's got to be the primal. It's got to be that earliest or that first form that you were in nature. Right? And wait a minute. Some of the Christians just went, wait a minute. Are we hearing the second Adam and that such thing? We're talking about the second Adam and the twins. The twins. Do you know what happens when you make a holy love union with Jesus Christ after they have given you drugs? He chases away your sex demons, baby. They won't come back. They won't come back. Now, you will have to be sealed on a regular basis. Oh, wait a minute. What? Yeah, they're going to have to give you drugs on a regular basis. There's maintenance. Why do you think the communion is the communion? Right? You think really people? Do you think this would have sold in antiquity? Bunch of dudes with hats who never get married walking around selling people. Come to this building. We'll give you a wafer and a little bit of wine, and you can live forever when you die. Thank you. Thank you. For those of you who write to me and say you always knew that something was up with Christianity, when you actually hear what Christianity was, all of that makes sense now, right? See, these are the books that are banned from the Bible specifically because you would read them and say, oh, okay, no thanks. No thanks. You can keep it all. Thank you very much. The communion and that stuff you're doing with the drugs and the kids, we'll skip. You know what? Who wants to be with Jesus, right? Those of you out there who are Christians, and I don't mean to bring you a reality, monist world, right? Judaism, Christianity, Islam, right? I don't mean to bring you the monist reality, right? And just throw it in your face. But there is shamefulness in your pasts. There is shamefulness. It's dark, and it's so derogatory towards people's humanity. Oh, God. You're going to have to stand someday next to Jesus. Remember that, right? Everybody who's getting, all the evangelicals who are getting resurrected, right? Coming with the rapture, you're all going to have to stand right next to a dude who was arrested in a public park with a naked kid. This dude has no regard for Jack. He is a child seller. He is a pimp, a holy pimp who is Christed with stuff that makes him jam hard. That's your savior. Yeah. Give it to me. Was that too much? Chewy, that was metal. That was for all the metal fans out there. You know what I mean? That's normal speak to them. They're like, oh, look, he's finally talking normal, not so damn nerdly, right? Love it. Okay, here it is. Oh, God. Now that she's come out and said this, what's going on and everything, right? And how she needs to have this demon purged. What does Thomas say to her? Oh, that devil. Wait, what? How did the devil get involved in this? What? Because she's got a thing? Serious? I know how you can cure this. Galen tells me how you can cure this, right? You want the directions, right? Oh, God, what do we know? No, we're going to Christian this thing. We're going to Christian this thing. We're going to free her soul. Right? There's got to be a real pleasure in a group of boys who have been abused by Jesus Christ, going out and abusing others, giving a little bit back. Do you see what the training does? It's rigorous religious training, but it's the way they do things. Give me the text. Let's show them. Nobody ever believes me. The last text I'm about to show you in a couple of slides is going to blow your mind. Nobody has seen this. Look what happened. Well, people have seen it, but nobody cares. Oh, God, he's blaming the devil now. And Thomas comes out and he says, "Oh, Bascanos, what do you call the devil? I'm about to give you a gift." Satanic congregation, what do you call the devil? Right? Everybody says, "Oh, he's the accuser." Right? You don't even know what that means, do you? Give me the Bascanos. Give it to me in Greek. What is it, people? Look at this. No, it's the last one, very bottom. There we go. What is a Bascanos, right? One who bewitches. This is not what you thought it was. It's one who bewitches. Right? Now, they say they're slanderer. Right? Slanderer. Right? What do you do if you give somebody that eye that is the eye of slander? You give it to them. You break them down. That's magic, bro. That's magic. What is the devil? He's not there to convict you of crimes. It's his kingdom. You're there to get punished. And by the way, I have a seat for you. This text describes hell, and it allows us to go there together. So next time is our trip to hell. Oh, I'm going to love it. Oh, God, it's so delicious. No, I'm serious. If you ever tour hell, right, you know that guy Dante, right? Oh, kudos to Dante and all that kind of stuff, right? Everybody loves a trip to hell. A trip to hell. A trip to hell will reinvigorate you. Once you see one form of punishment, oh, God, you want to give it. You know what I mean? I give some of this due, right? You know what I mean? So you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it, right? How do we do that? Yeah, I hear somebody said it's through dreams, right? Demonic dreams. Give me the next one. Boom. I mean, the one that we were working on. There we go. Yeah. So he says, I just want you to see, he's calling the devil all sorts of bad names, right? He says, "You never rest, devil," right? "You're so shameful, devil," right? "You have such evil in you." What does he say? Right? It's just ugly, and you're making the beautiful ugly. You're that polymorph. You're that one that has that incredible ability to change shape. You can appear in whatever form you want, but your essence, your ousia, always, right? That ousia is always going to be the same. It's not able to change. And what is that essence? You know what he says? He says, eventually, he says, that essence is going to be what burns you up, devil. That essence is going to be what burns you up. What is that essence? We're talking about sex demons, people. This book of Acts says the number one, the number one route, the way to sin is through sex. Right. It's through sex. Now do you understand why Greek towns are throwing these lunatics out? They're sex maniacs that are masquerading as the religion. Oh, you're going to cure me? Okay, what does it require? You mean I got to get naked? And I got to do what? I got to use drugs? I was just here for the stars, man. I just want to meet some of these famous rappers. That's all I was coming for. Where's Gangsta G? Oh, he and P. Diddy are in the back, right? With Mary Magdalene. What are they doing? They're doing this stuff that you see before you right now. They called it chasing out your demons. Now, the question is that people ask me, why don't you just leave it alone? Why don't you just leave it alone with Christianity? Somebody wanted to pay me and get me involved in an institute where I could be someone to bring this classical wisdom to the world, yeah, I had to do one thing. I had to leave it alone so that I wouldn't bother the monists. And you know what I said to that person? What you want is impossible. You cannot pollute the classical well with your monism. Do you see why we do that, people? We don't care about money. We don't care about prestige. This is still not monetized. It's not demonetized. It's just never been monetized. And they're still finding a way to play commercials off the front of it every once in a while. You know, they do that. I'm sorry that they do that. I don't know if it's because we're beating the algorithm and the algorithm is saying these people should have some kind of commercials with them or something. We got to sell. We got to sell. You know what your religions are? They're all selling and buying, you frauds, and you're about to receive your destruction. I'm so glad everybody is so comfortable, right? Chewy, we're going to have to turn the heat up again. Right, we're going to have to turn the heat up. Everybody's so comfortable. Yay. Yay. Do you really think that tyranny is going to accept a democratic election? And what are you going to do when it doesn't? Fantastic. Look what history does. She makes us bring out the best. She makes us. She puts your face in it and she says, rise. Oh, God, that's Athena, baby. That's Athena. Long live Tom Jefferson, right? Love it. I'll be there for the Union. You Confederates and you Nazis can suck it. Yeah. Do you know your great-great-grandfather was involved? Anyway, let's keep going. And what happened? What happened here? Oh, God. So as soon as he starts talking about the devil, Thomas is like, this devil and this, he's doing this, and he's a bad guy, and he's always working the sex stuff. And what happens? The devil shows up. Surprise, surprise. You spoke about him, and he showed up. Right? Oh, God. But the only people that could see him were the apostle and the poor girl who was oversexed. Yeah. She needed that release. Now what's going on? She's talking to somebody that nobody else can see. And she's about to be handed over to a dude who's going to seal her. He's going to give her more drugs, put her into a state that he can cast away her love, her pleasure, her physical satisfaction. Do you see what Christianity wants to do? It doesn't want you to stop being horny because being horny is bad. It wants you to give your horniness to the Lord Jesus Christ. And that is an awkward place to be, right? That is not a place of freedom. It's not a place of freedom. You serve a lace stays. Give me the next one. Okay, quick. I want to quickly just give you. I'm taking up too much of your time tonight. Give me the next one. And I don't want to. I know everybody has important stuff to do. So what is the point here? He says we're talking more about this servant. You know, the servant of Jesus Christ, right? Oh God, just keep going. Just keep going. Yeah. Okay. Look. Ultimately, what happens? The demon that's in the woman she cries out. Right? Cries out. I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here, right? This poor demon, right? He saw her, right? And he wanted to help her, right? Remember? Oh, God. All he wanted was that union. He caught her coming out of the baths, and all he wanted was that union. Yeah. Did you know they caught Zeus when she, the Holy Queen, was coming out of the river? You know what I mean? You know what he did? Yeah. What do you think? What do you think that he did? He entered into that same Holy Communion that produces saviors and sons of God. There's no wall between pagans and Christians. Christianity is the development of pagan mystery. And the only reason you don't know it is the theologians and Bible scholars and historians who were influenced by them. They've been feeding you garbage and you've been eating it. You gobble in the back alley. We are back alley gobblers, right? That's what we are. Back alley gobblers. I think that was a team. What kind of mascot would you have for the back alley gobblers? Satanic congregation, please give me. Maybe it's a turkey, right? Gobble, gobble, gobble. Something like that. It is getting close to November, right? Here we go. Give me the next. I want it, people. Let's just get to the climax here. Climax, quick. Give me this one. Are you ready? This is when you're tired and you're like, look, you've been through this thing. So let's just get there to the finish point, right? Oh, next, the one right before this. These last two are the biggies. There we go. Thank you very much, Chewy. Fantastic. Okay. So the apostle starts putting his hands on people. And he says, look, this goodie from the Lord, right? This boosts you into the ion. Amen, right? And everybody's like, amen, brother. And the woman says, hey, apostle of the highest, give to me the seal, right? In order that this awful demon might never come back to me, right? Might not return to me. So what did the apostle do? He brought her in close to him, grabbed her, brought her in close to him, right? He put his hands on her, and he sealed her. He sealed her right there. And guess what? A lot of people got sealed right then. And they were like, set up the table, and they took out a table and they put a little stool out there for her, right? Because this is her. She's special, dude. Right? Paul is saying, stop. Jude is saying, stop doing this, by the way, right? Right? And they put her on that stool. Oh, God, what are they going to do? What are they going to do, Chewy? I know. We got to show her. What are they going to do? Give me the next one. No, the next one. Boom. They got that stool, right? And they took out this linen cloth, this linen strip. Does that sound familiar? Seamed on a strip of linen. They put it on the little table and they put, right? What did they put there? They put that little bread of the eulogy. Right? And what did they say? What did the apostle say? Is it sitting there? He says, oh, Jesus. Right? You who deem us worthy of entering into sexual intercourse in your Eucharist of your holy body and blood. Yeah. Look at us. Let's dare to jump into the Eucharist. Right? It's the beginning of the orgy, people, right? Right? Because they've all drugged up. So here it goes, right? Right? And we're going to call on your name. You know what the shout is? It's going to be coming out of this cave of people drugged and getting all over each other. It's going to be all in the name of Jesus. Come now and take us to koinonia, right? We looked at koinonia last time, what it means. Take us there. And you're going to sit there and say, no. It's just this thing, you get together and you have ice cream. It's koinonia, right? No. Give me the next one. Let's throw it in their face, people. Show you how sexual this sex party of Christianity gets, right? Come. He's screaming now, right? Come, my beautiful, precious little initiations. Come. What's he talking about? You know the word that he's talking about? It's a word that Theocritus is using. It's for the love gift that a boy gives you, namely his pooper. Okay, stop. It's his backside. It's his sphincter, right? That's what he's giving him. That is the sweetness of the initiation. This is your church, baby. You bunch of perverts. So he says, now here's the proof. Look at the first line, second line. It says, Elthe, he koinonia tu arenos. What do I want, baby? I want that man meat communion. I want that man meat. This is the mystery of the chosen, right? This is she who understands the mysteries of the chosen one. Do you understand that? What are they doing? They're calling forth an erection. This is creepy, but you don't get there without the drugs and the sex. It's part of the Christian rite, right? It's part of the Christian rite. Do you understand why this material is so dangerous? Do you understand why they would not want this to be public knowledge that Christians were acting like this? Not just Christians, but the apostles themselves, right? What if you captured the apostles, right, in a giant net? You got them into a room together, right? Slick the floor with some oil. No, wait a minute. That was the wrong fantasy. You get the apostles all together and you find out from them, what kind of acts are you doing with these girls that you're saying are gorgeous, right? And these boys that you're saying are gorgeous. And what is it that is the devil in their mind that you're actually casting out? And please, pray tell, apostles, why is it that every civil authority either puts you in jail, kicks you out of town after beating you up, right? Or kills you, right? Right? You realize this dude that we're talking about, you know where he ends up? He ends up crucified with his head down, right? Oh, you'll find out why that was. Because in hell, yes, it gives new meaning to the book of Acts. Yes. In hell, right? That is a very specific punishment for a very specific type of person that anybody free today or in a prison could look at it and say, yeah, that person deserves that. Definitely. Do you understand? There's a justice deeper than any books anywhere. And that is what the muse gives us. That's why we make the books, so that we can show the muse in her song. Beautiful. That last one more time. I think it was, no, this one. One before, boom. Okay, so let's just finish up. What happens? Look at the second line. Elthe he koinonia tu arenos. Come to, right? Come. What do I really want? I really want that communion with the man part. And what does that make me? It makes me the one who has the knowledge of the mystery, right? Perhaps there's only certain people who would understand this. You know what I mean? Come to me, she who brings us that intercourse in all sorts of athletic struggles. Come, silence. Come, she who brings that which is the greatest of all things out of the darkness into the light. Thank you so much. Come, she who shows forth the Apocrypha. Come, right? She who reveals that which cannot be spoken. And who is she? She is He Hiera Peristera. She is that holy dove. Do you understand who we're invoking? The person who is in the right, the girl who is receiving the drug, is invoking Aphrodite in a sex rite with an apostle. If you are not comfortable with that, next time you look up at the walls of your church, you see those windows and you see the acts of the apostles, remember, there are some acts that you don't know about. And that gets our goat. Doesn't it get our goat, Chewy? Thank you for coming tonight. Penelope, please, everybody in the congregation, take a minute just to gaze at Penelope's cross and to realize that the cross of Jesus Christ hides a multitude of sins. It covers a multitude of sin. This satanic initiation, we learn to appreciate what is beyond the cross. I love you, Penelope. Now go home, sweetie. Fantastic. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you very much for coming tonight. and you will continue next week, but I had a couple of things that I really needed to bring you, and it's not over. I still have one more very important episode, and it's an episode that really challenges how much we can actually literally translate this thing. Right? That's what it comes down to. Right? How can people afford to be bombarded with this reality? That's what we're coming to. Now, I want you, next time that we meet, I want you to make sure that you are very respectfully sitting on that throne of Satan, and that you are appreciating the mystery of lawlessness. Thanks for coming tonight. Hail Satan.
Make it rain, burning purple. Cast a spell on you in a circle. Hot fire, gasoline. Make it rainbow dream. Hail Satan, blaze with St. Vincent Pricino. Magic wand, whip the volcano. House of Frankenstein, the wizard walks by. Make it rain, burning purple, and cast a spell on you in a circle. Hot fire, feel the burn. Reek like indica, fuck what you heard. I'm shining bright like Jackie Nicholson. My girl is Shelley Duvall. Snow blind on the peak. BB at the Players Ball. Sugar pop, sugar pop, sugar pop, dope. Sugar pop, do your makeup mold. Coca-Cola face, Magneto laser ray. Mark 'em all with a Z on your heads like Zorro. Hillside, Lone Ranger, tree line, Gonzo. Make it rain, burning purple. Cast a spell on you in a circle. Hot fire, gasoline. Make it rainbow dream.